Welcome to Home Means, where the heart of Nevada comes alive. I'm your host, Heather Brown, and this is a place where we uncover the real stories behind the people who make our state extraordinary. From unforgettable adventures to everyday moments that shape us, this podcast is all about the voices, the faces, and the experiences that make Nevada truly unique. Let's dive in and get to the heart of what home means. Welcome to another episode of Home Means. Today, I'm excited to welcome the fabulous mayor of North Las Vegas, Pamela Goynes-Brown.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming today. Today we're really going to focus on North Las Vegas and just all the strides that the city has gone through under your leadership, just not only as mayor, but city council. I've had an opportunity to work with your team on the economic development side, so lots of exciting things to talk about there. So when you think about North Las Vegas, not just as mayor, but as someone who has lived and served there, what makes the city feel like home to you?
Well, my family came to North Las Vegas in 1964, actually, so I was 2 years old. So I feel like I have seen North Las Vegas from where it was in the early 60s to how it has evolved today. And just to be a part of that growth over the last decade or so has just been phenomenal. Seeing that little city, you could name every single street, every single place in there. And now I have to drive around sometimes to say, oh my gosh, look how much we have grown. So it's just been great watching North Las Vegas and the Valley grow.
Yeah. And you have such a good team that it really is, deep dive into not losing its character of the city, but trying to expand and bring jobs and the higher ed institution, right? Yes. Like all of these exciting things that are coming down the pike, it is going to just make the community even stronger year over year.
Absolutely. It is just so exciting. And we've put together great teams and great minds. And it's all about our vision and a shared vision and what our constituents want, need, and deserve. And so that's our ultimate goal, is just to make sure that we're building a complete city.
That's awesome. So you grew up in a family deeply rooted in education and public service. So long before you ever ran for office, what lessons did the community teach you that has stayed with you today?
Well, I think my parents, of course, were my first teachers, and watching their aspects from an educational background. We grew up in a Christian household, so church was really important to our family, and just being out in the community. And so watching them serve families all across Nevada, and when I was in the education space, just serving families in the various schools that I worked at all different levels, and making sure that their needs are met and educating their children, which is their greatest possession. So it just taught me giving back, and that community service is super, super important.
Yeah. I mean, you spent 3 decades in public education, and, this is 3 decades of children and the parents and community members coming through your classroom.
Yes.
How did that shape your understanding of what the community actually needed? What did these families and what opportunities needed to come to North Las Vegas?
Well, my joke within myself is I just dealt with little people and their concerns and making sure that they were whole and felt comfortable. It's no different right now. I just deal with bigger people and same issues and concerns. And it's just all about problem solving. And a lot of what we do is just listening, because everyone has a story to tell. And I just love to listen to people's stories when they bring their concerns, and more importantly, when they bring their ideas to me. It's just like, wow, you do care about your community. And then it's also building those communities within certain spaces across the city. And I just thrive off of hearing from my constituents and listening to what they have to say.
And I think that really is an example of what sets you apart of what people think an elected official is that if you don't take the time to stop and listen and meet with constituents and hear their ideas, then you can't actually, what they needed from before, but things change. I mean, look, our whole world has upended from the pandemic.
Correct.
Things are so different. We were talking about it earlier, right? Like the cost of rent, the cost of groceries, the cost of tuition, everything is rising. So people are feeling it in different ways than they were maybe when you first got elected. So I like that you've maintained that community aspect, and obviously you love your community. You have so many opportunities to interact with it. And so I wouldn't expect anything less.
And when you're in these elected official, when you're in these positions, you're in there for a short period of time. So you want to try to make the biggest impact that you can while you are in that elected position, because people are putting their trust and their faith in you. Yeah.
I've talked to a couple of business leaders on the podcast, and they've basically said the exact same thing, but from their perspective, they're like, we hope that this elected official can get in there and break through systemic barriers and things that we've been frustrated about. But we also understand that they only have a short period of time and they have an uphill battle. So I think this is where, having a good relationship with education, business community, and elected officials and have that perfect crossroad, that's how we're really going to be able to get all these things done for our community.
I would agree. Yes. Yeah.
So I know you've talked about this quite a bit, but education has been such a defining part of your life. So what does it mean now that you get to create opportunities for the next generation that go beyond a classroom?
It's an amazing feeling because we're trying to prepare our youth for the 21st century. And I also say like jobs that haven't even been created yet, because we don't know what's going to happen down the future. We know technology is huge, AI is huge, but we need to prepare our younger generation for those type of positions. And learning as everything goes robotic or is run by something that's not human, but you still have to have people that know the software systems to know how to repair all of these things. So that's extremely important. I think we need to design programs in schools so that we are preparing kids for that next level. High school was just the textbook and the curriculum when I was in school. It's so much more now, and it's just like kids are getting their needs met. So I think we have to be very intentional on making sure that we are meeting those needs.
Yeah, and I love that, because what you're essentially saying is that kids don't know what they don't know.
Correct.
And it has to be somebody is providing this opportunity to just learn. Mm-hmm. And maybe a parent doesn't know how to search for an opportunity because they also didn't have exposure. And so I like that, the city is trying to bring more exposure to things of the future, embracing the fact that we don't know what's going to happen 10 years from now.
Right.
I think when you and I went to high school, you probably had a good understanding of 10 different jobs that you could have that would be there forever. And I just don't know if kids today have that same, because we know things are going to change so fast.
Absolutely.
So it is nice that you guys are, giving opportunities to just learn and ask better questions and just get exposure. So I think it's literally the most important thing that we can do.
Yes.
Is provide opportunity.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So you've served as councilwoman, mayor pro temp, and now the mayor.
Yes.
How has your sense of responsibility evolved as your leadership roles have grown?
Well, it has definitely changed since being elected mayor. Council, you're tailored most specifically to your ward. There's 4 wards, and so I represented Ward 2, and I was really involved in that constituent base within Ward 2. But when you run for mayor, it's at large, it's citywide, and so you're responsible for all 4 of the wards, and still you're listening to as many people as you can within those wards and working with that council person that represents that ward, but much more responsibility. You're looking at great community partners when the business world comes and reaches out to you and want to build in your city. And then, the mayor, I'm the ceremonial person, the spokesperson, so I have to be prepared. I have to know what I'm talking about. I meet with so many amazing people, and then I meet with some that, we say maybe you're not a good fit for North Las Vegas, because we're looking at, bridging those gaps, filling in those holes, creating complete cities, building great communities. And so a lot of that is just listening to what they have to say and what they can bring and how they're going to give back to the community that they want to build and develop in.
Yeah, and I mean, especially because when you think about it, there's 5 people for all of North Las Vegas. You really have to learn from your other city council members because they're supposed to be doing the deep dives. You're going across all 4 wards.
Yes.
You can only touch and do so much, and I hope that's where good relationships and long-term friendships and stuff come into play.
Oh, absolutely. And it's fun going to work every day because I have such great council people, and they are so dedicated, and they want the best for their ward, of course. And we have our in-house kind of competitions on in the wards, which makes it just phenomenal because that just makes us work harder and harder and harder. But we all get along. We're great friends, and we can have those frank conversations. And sometimes we do disagree, but we always come out at the end at looking at not what's best for us, but what's best for our constituents.
And I think that's a good example of just our community in general, right? Obviously, you're not going to get along with everyone. There's 2.4 million people. I wish I could have 2.4 million best friends.
Right.
But I do think that at the end of the day, there's not an elected official that is going to vote against progress and, wanting to see what's better for their community. We might not all agree on what that looks like, but I just keep going back to this sense of like, this community will show up for the people who are going to do the hard work and show up for whatever position they're elected to, whatever business they run, whatever community they oversee. And I get excited because it doesn't have to be one person.
Correct.
We genuinely can engage a whole slew of people that have a common shared interest, which is just making sure that we are better than we were yesterday. Yeah, it's awesome. So North Las Vegas has seen both challenge and growth, but what has remained constant about the people in North Las Vegas through all that change?
I think North Las Vegas, we know that we're the entertainment capital of the world. And knowing that you have a place that you can come to where you're not with the hustle and bustle every day, it's the quietness, it's the calmness, it's the beautiful parks, it's the great communities, it's the great restaurants that we have designed now with Restaurant Row, which we did not always have. And just knowing that people have a nice place that they can call home, whether they have to drive across town to get to the Strip or wherever they work every single day, and they come home to that calmness, and it just feels like home. It's a great place to be, and they want to be there. Otherwise, why would you be in that community?
That's right.
You want to be there.
It's the home beyond the headlines.
Yeah.
And so much of it's funny. I mean, you've lived here almost your entire life, and I'm sure people are like, oh my gosh, Southern Nevada, like, ooh, gaming, and you're like, yeah, I haven't been to a casino in months.
It's so much more.
Yeah.
It's so much more. Yeah.
What's something about North Las Vegas that people really don't understand until they've spent time there and truly invested in the community?
I would think we have several hidden gems in North Las Vegas that people aren't aware of until you actually see it. And one that I can reference right away is Craig Ranch Regional Park. When you see that park, it's phenomenal. It's a huge park, and we keep expanding it and adding more amenities, and just our great trail systems as well. And I didn't know all of how far they went around until you actually get on those trails, whether you're riding your bicycle or walking. But it just gives you that sense of calmness and peaceful. And it's a great family community.
I've seen the park, and I think you guys just added pickleball courts. I mean, there's just like everything.
And the multi-use fields, and so the AMP concert venue, it's just great.
And I like that, having that kind of greenery and that green space, especially in a community where we're not allowed to have grass in our front yards anymore, things like that. It's nice that people can bring their kids there. They can set up birthday parties. They do, concert events for the community. Like, it's just nice to have a place to go that's not in your neighborhood, or, you're lucky if your community has a square of grass. Right. But it's just nice that you guys have really invested, and like you said, it's expanding. And I do think the trails in Southern Nevada, people don't realize. You want to bike, run, hiking is all throughout. It's like, it's actually amazing what we have.
It is amazing. Yeah. It is.
Is there a moment from your time in public service, one that maybe never made the headlines, that really stayed with you?
There are probably many. I would just think, just because I like to work a lot behind the scenes, so I don't need to be out in front of the camera, the spotlights, anything on. I would just say that during COVID, the amount of work that the city of North Las Vegas did to make sure that our residents were safe, all of that did not make the headlines, because we did quite a bit from making sure that people, had food and groceries. people were getting vaccinated, that we were taking care of those needs of people, whether they could not come to where we were delivering food, where we were having food, or during the vaccinations, we actually take it to the community. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, because sometimes you have elderly people or people that don't have access to transportation. So if you can't come to us for the services, we can bring them to you. And that was really, really important.
Well, especially when so much uncertainty. I'm so glad that, and look, and I take a step back on this as well, because not only was there uncertainty coming from the federal side, but from a state side and then a local side, and then boiling it all down to your individual resident. I mean, what a blessing that the local municipality, North Las Vegas city government, stepped up to provide resources and answers and navigate, because that is when government needs to shine.
Absolutely.
That is when it needs to shine, because people know how to find a park. They have Google Maps, right? Like, but when something has never happened, or something is never they've done before, this is where I think it's good to have good leaders that understand, I gotta stay calm, I gotta put my head down, I just gotta get something done.
And it was just the uncertainty and the not knowing, because we didn't know what we knew. So we were always, that old saying, we were building the plane while we were flying it, just to learn. And but we survived. So
well, and a big theme that I keep hearing is that it's important to do the work regardless of who gets the credit.
Correct.
And I worry a lot about, these younger kids coming up, watching TikTok and wanting to be the star and thinking that's how they're gonna make it. And it's like, I'm worried that we're gonna lose that cultural side of like community, where like you're just there for the right reasons, and like it's always nice to be recognized, but that's not why you do it. You things need to get done, so you do them.
Just do it.
You don't spend the time writing the press release saying I did this, right? You just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
And I never want to lose that piece of who we are. And it's just that, and this is why it's good to have good public servants that run for office and then get supported by community, because you just want people who are willing to do something for their constituents, not for them.
Correct. I like that, Heather. Good. That was great.
Honestly, sitting down with all these incredible people on this podcast, I am learning so much.
Yeah.
And I am really shaping my own leadership style, because, I've had an opportunity to work with some giants in my life, but then sitting down and hearing each person's story, because like we really are such a close-knit community, and your experience is going to be way different than the next person's experience. And I just feel very lucky to get an opportunity to like have this dialogue and just take little nuggets. And then it's my job to make sure that as I'm building my, public, persona, that I can take on these attributes that I find to be, thank you for putting it that way, because I believe that. I just didn't know to frame it that way and stuff like that. So it's just been fun. So what part of North Las Vegas identity feels most personal to you and most important to protect?
Most important to me is I grew up in North Las Vegas, but I left and went to college, and I came back and I moved to the city of Las Vegas because there just was not homes that were built in North Las Vegas. So after about a little over a decade, I said, you know what, I need to come back home. And so I saw the growth of North Las Vegas, and there was just this one home, and it was around the corner from my parents because I wanted to be close to them because my mom was going through some health issues at the time. And it just said, you know, I need to come back home. I don't know what it was. A voice told me, but I moved back to North Las Vegas, and I've been there ever since. And so doing that just reminded me of where I grew up. I'm in an older part of North Las Vegas, and I love it, because that's what I know. But I also love seeing all the new growth in the newer areas in North Las Vegas. But just when I come home from City Hall every day and just drive up Cary or Lake Mead Boulevard to my, what I call OG home, I'm home. I'm happy. Yeah.
So for the people who are listening and watching, let's talk a little bit about the higher ed
Absolutely.
partnership.
Yes.
I think, one, I'm really excited about it, but I'll let you kind of give an overview, and then we can deep dive into it.
Well, Nevada State University is going to build a satellite campus in our downtown Gateway area. And we just couldn't be more proud to have a place where our residents can work on their higher ed degrees right there in their community. They don't have to worry about driving 30, 40, 50 minutes one way every single day to go to school. Those who have transportation barriers, if there are childcare issues, they're right there in their own community. And with the diversity in North Las Vegas, it just brings that circle complete to me. It's in our downtown core, and we are redeveloping our downtown area right now. And so to have a major university there speaks volumes to us. Yeah.
Let's talk about the redevelopment that's happening. Obviously, having higher ed, I mean, and look, this was something that we pushed through at the Board of Regents through the BFF committee, and I was happy to, approve it as a whole board when we approved the minutes, but this was a no-brainer. Yeah. First of all, you guys showed up in being incredible partners, very patient, being very particular in the institutions and the programs and stuff that you wanted to provide. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of thought that went behind that. Yeah. And Nevada State is such an incredible institution. I'm so glad that they will have a satellite campus that makes it more accessible. A lot of their students already come from North Las Vegas. Yes. So we're just expanding access to education for North Las Vegas, but also making it easier for probably hundreds of students.
Yes.
Because we're cutting down on, like you said, that 30, 40-minute commute. And plus, people who didn't want to make the commute or couldn't make the commute, now they have an option.
They have an option.
I'm so excited about that.
We are super excited. And just, thank you for that approval. And then at the meeting, it was just heartwarming to have two students to get up and speak during public comment and share their reasons why this made sense. And it just kind of hit home and brought it to home. It's just like, we need this. And just think how many more people will want to work on an advanced degree now that it's right there in their community and it's accessible.
Yeah, because we're always grateful that you guys had CSN.
Yes.
And that has been an incredible backbone. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there's not many bachelor degrees there.
Correct.
So if you are looking for a bachelor's degree, they would have to leave, whether they go to UNLV or Nevada State.
Yes.
You are still making that commute.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that. Yeah. Like, this is just a good example because in totality, I don't want to diminish. I know it was a lot of hard work. I know it was. But this wasn't years in the making. We didn't have a and I know that I'm sure conceptually it was.
It was conceptually.
Yeah,
yes.
Conceptually it was. But once you decided that it was going to be Nevada State and programs were proposed, it's not like we're like, well, let's talk about it in 3 to 5 business years, mm-hmm. right? I know that you had to be strategic with the whole gateway, expansion, but I just really appreciate that Nevada State, even through a leadership change, was able to keep it going, mm-hmm. and we were able to, solidify, cross the T's, dot the I's, sign the contracts, make it happen because.
Yeah. And a lot of things you have to seize a moment, and timing is huge in some of these efforts. And if it feels right, that time is right. And so that's how we felt about this, and the need was there. The need was there.
Yeah, because, going back to just other, CSN, they're going to do those satellite campuses, mm-hmm. and those are learning centers that'll be embedded into the community, but they're not, I think maybe certification programs, but they're not degree seeking.
They're not degree seeking.
And so, this is just a slam dunk.
It is.
And, this is something that you and the rest of the city council, but this is part of your legacy. This is something that is going to change so much of the community just by giving access.
Absolutely. And I look at people who may not have even had the chance to go to university or are first time in their family. Look, I'm going to college. I'm going to university. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and it goes back to the whole, if you don't know that you can, you don't know to ask for it. Mm-hmm. If you don't have exposure to something, you don't know that it's possible for you.
Correct.
And this is where we lean on our friends over at CCSD to tell a better story, whether they go to trades or they get a 4-year degree.
Yes.
We have to present all the options. And now for those who are now there's more options that are more local in someone's community.
Absolutely. Awesome. And then, you know, at Canyon Springs High School, we have the Homegrown Teacher Program, which is amazing. And so students who graduate from high school will have credits already for that next degree. And if they decide to go to Nevada State or to UNLV or another institution, we're just helping them get their teaching credentials and those certificates, and hopefully they will want to come back and teach in the community that they grew up in. Yeah.
I you know, dual credit and all of those programs that we're offering and the Homegrown Teacher Program. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's get people on a fast track. Let's get them back. Not that I don't want them to have an incredible college experience. Like, it was life-changing for me. Mm-hmm. But some people don't have 4 years to wait to get a paycheck to, mm-hmm. Be embedded into the community and the economic growth of for their families, for their immediate, some people start families early, and you need to get into the workforce to be able to afford and have a good quality of life. And all of these little things that we're doing, breaking down barriers to entry, is just going to improve and uplift communities across the Southern Nevada, across the state, but
right,
especially here, North Las Vegas, Southern Nevada. Mm-hmm. And I get so excited because, much like you, I see so much potential. And it's just going to take hardworking people who actually are there for the right reasons. And, you got to do the hard things. Mm-hmm. And if you do the hard things,
it pays off.
It pays off.
Yes. Yeah.
So we kind of already touched on this, but years from now, what would you be proud to say you helped strengthen or preserve about the city's culture and community?
Oh, my goodness. So much. I think it's identity. We are working so hard on North Las Vegas's image. We're not the North Las Vegas of 20, 30 years ago. We have done a complete 360 on, community values, the workforce connection, just building I keep saying complete city, but we want our community to feel whole, and we've worked really, really hard on our branding, on our name, and our identity that North Las Vegas is a household name. It's a place to be.
Yeah, I've worked with workforce connections in different capacity. Mm-hmm. Are they embedded inside North Las Vegas city government?
They are two places. Our Alexander Library has the youth hub through Workforce Connection, and then we have our small business connector right in our own city hall where we work with workforce. And so it's just phenomenal if you want to start a business, or you're working with youth who, like you said, probably have no idea what they want to do. So we can help a lot with them. Just what is your career path going to look like? What do you want to do? And we want to meet their needs. Growing up, parents had an idea of what they wanted you to be. No, I want them to be able to say, this is what I want to do, and you just help them with that path to get there.
Yeah. And it goes back to what you were saying earlier. There's not a one size fits all.
True.
We know this.
True.
We also know that we don't know what's going to happen next.
Correct.
But teaching people to be critical thinkers, ask better questions, keep progressing, mm-hmm. but without ever. And also just believing in yourself, right? Like there's a real possibility that whoever is in one of these schools, they're going to be the next CEO of a company that decides to build and grow here, mm-hmm. and then they're going to jump the whole tech ecosystem or something, right? Yeah. I mean, it really just takes a spark.
Yeah.
And I think all these little programs and all these different government agencies coming together and working and not in being in silos, mm-hmm. is how we're really going to.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you want people to know about Gateway?
Well, Gateway is our new reimagined downtown. I've often been asked, does North Las Vegas even have a downtown? I'm like, well, yeah, we do, but it hasn't been clearly defined. And so we are changing that as I speak. We are bringing in a walkable community, green spaces, restaurants, cafes, micro businesses, some residential, medical. We have the Tesla charging station that's open already, your favorite coffee shop, all of those kind of things, just to make a downtown area that people want to come, bring their families and enjoy a night out on the town, so to speak, in North Las Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, look, and I also want to ask you about all the growth in Apex. But first, like, you can bring all the jobs there, but if people don't feel like they have a community and it's anchored with the downtown, I think that's so important. I can't wait to check it out. And
Very important. Yeah.
with higher ed and coffee shops and all of these things, it's really going to make it a central meeting location for people.
Yes.
That's great that you guys are focused on that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I am curious about Apex.
Okay.
I obviously know Apex very well from my work in economic development, but for those of listening that might not be very familiar with it, can we tell a little bit about Apex and how that's a workforce growth trajectory for North Las Vegas?
I define Apex as one of the greatest industrial parks in the world. It's right now currently 7,000 acres of developable land, where we are attracting up to Fortune 500 companies, logistics, Air Liquide, Crocs, Hey Dudes, I always like to say that, Kroger. And so we're creating an ecosystem out there where we are having those jobs that may not be created yet, or getting that workforce ready to work in a highly competitive industrial space. And so it's going to be phenomenal, the more growth that happens out at our industrial park. It'll be probably its own unique place. Could actually be, I would say, not a city, but it's just going to be that unique for people to have jobs. And these are just not your average jobs or your minimum wage jobs. These are jobs where you can sustain a job and raise your families on, so they're higher paying jobs. And just from A to Z, you name it, it's out there. Engineering, logistical people who are good with their hands, or just a gamut of things will be out there at Apex.
I often use Apex in the North Las Vegas push to bring more of these, distribution and manufacturing jobs out there. This is where, when we talk about diversifying our economy, this is where it's going to start.
Yes.
And it is starting. It is happening.
It's happening.
But even as we move forward, right? Like, we already know that we're landlocked because we don't own 86% of our state boundary.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the 14% that we do own, 7,000 usable acres seems very, interesting, especially if I'm a business looking for, to be within a day's drive of 64 million people.
And right now, North Las Vegas has the most developable land still, but that's going to change, I say, within the next decade or so, because we are bringing in so much diversity into the economy here in Southern Nevada. And if we have it and it's aligning with our vision and our goal and our strategic plan, then we got a place for you. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. I know so many companies that come out there and they're like, wow, this is really impressive. I can't believe the infrastructure and all this stuff. And you guys have had to deal with a lot of challenges, from the BLM land being right there, the federal land, then Clark County's on this side, and then you're dealing, and so then the utilities get messy. Yeah. You guys have had to deal with a lot, and I don't think people give you guys enough credit with how many barriers there were to just get the usable land usable.
And with all the barriers, and you're absolutely right, but the good thing about that is when you build those relationships with those that like the BLM in the county, what you mentioned, it makes those processes go a little bit easier. And we're just fortunate that we have great community partners that get it and they understand. And then in North Las Vegas, with our permitting processes, we've been able to expedite a lot of those, which makes it's more business friendly. Yeah. And then when you cut through a lot of that red tape, it just makes sense, and that things flow a lot easier, because government is super slow. So if we can speed that up, it helps out a lot.
Well, let's be honest. We all know government does not work at the speed of business.
Correct.
But I can tell you from my own personal, and I will sing your staff's praises, that City of North Las Vegas has been nothing but wonderful to work with.
Oh, thank you.
A phone call, three phone calls later, you have your answer. And it's not me making those phone calls, it's your staff. And then they circle back with answers. It's just so, you guys have really focused in on this business friendly. You know that you want businesses there. So you've broken down these barriers. Mm-hmm. You know that you need to still get permitting when you need permitting. And you know that you still need licensure when you need licensure. Mm-hmm. But it's not impossible to break through and find someone.
Yeah.
And this is what we have to tell people. Like, and this is for all of Nevada. I really think we don't have barriers, but I have personally helped dozens of companies that work with you guys, and it is the ease and accessibility of your municipality that makes it easy to sell, them going to Apex or building in downtown or, joining somewhere off the 15.
And then just think that word of mouth really speaks volumes too, because if you're having a great experience, because they're our customers, we want great customer service, and so they'll go tell somebody, guess what our experience was, and share that with them. And so it really helps, and that's our goal, is just to have and provide great customer service. Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially when, I like that you said you're not the North Las Vegas of 20, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. You're not even the business department at the city of North Las Vegas that you were 20, 30 years ago.
This is true, yeah.
And so, it's nice that the community can benefit because hard work and dedication was built on changing systems and making sure things were easy and accessible and, leaning into that innovation and that yes mentality, yes and how do we actually meet our business community where they want to be. I mean, there's no better, request for a local municipality than that.
Yeah, and we work really hard at there.
Yeah,
we really have.
Like I said, I can't sing the praises more of your staff. They really have been wonderful.
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.
All right, we've got rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So, what is your favorite local restaurant?
I like Viva Zapatas, but let me say this: I could eat Mexican food any day, all day, as long as it's authentic and it's good. So, but I do like Viva Zapatas.
There's plenty of spots in North Las Vegas.
There are,
for sure.
Yes.
What is a must-visit spot for newcomers?
I would think the iconic Las Vegas sign on the Strip. Yeah, I think that would be a good one.
What's the best outdoor activity?
Here in the desert, swimming, and then our trail system. I absolutely love it.
What's a hidden gem in Southern Nevada?
Well, I'm going to be a little bit biased because I am in North Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. I love Craig Ranch Regional Park. It's the greatest hidden gem. Yeah.
You heard it right. Yep. Let's go over there and everybody's got to go visit.
Everybody's got to go visit.
What is your go-to coffee shop?
Well, we opened this place on East Lake Mead. It's called Badass Coffee. Mm-hmm. And it's Hawaiian coffee. Oh, it is to die for. It is so good.
Badass?
It's really badass. It is good.
What's your favorite place to unwind?
Any place where there's water.
Yeah.
I like to cruise or just go to California or even, Lake Mead is, but it's water. So that's my happy place. It's very calming. It just helps me to unwind.
It's actually, when California doesn't take all of our water, it's actually gone up 6 feet. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, I just love being on the water. Yep.
What's the best view in the city?
Because I've been on the link of the high roller. I love being up there because you just can unwind and you can just see all over the valley. So it's really beautiful.
And if you time it right at sunset?
Yeah, it is beautiful. I would agree.
I stand by it. I think we have the best sunsets, not over water.
We do.
I'll give a water sunset any day of the week, but not over water right here.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to do on a weekend?
Well, I live for football, college, high school, NFL, so that's what I do on the weekends. And I kind of get a little sad around this time of year because I know the season's coming to an end. So give me football any day of the week. Yes.
What is one must-have experience for visitors?
I think just to walk the Strip at night. And I haven't walked the whole Strip in a long, long time, but I would just love to just walk the Strip at night because it's so beautiful. Yeah.
And what is the most underrated perk of living in Nevada?
Having a child that lives in Southern California, I think we take for granted the ease of getting around this valley. Even with all the construction zones, I don't complain at all when I have to come someplace. Like I said, it was so easy getting here from North Las Vegas, 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. So I just think the ease of getting around our valley, we take that for granted.
when I have friends come into town, I'll be like, oh, traffic.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, that's right. I lived on the East Coast. This isn't traffic. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always tell people, whenever I see a cone, a traffic cone, I just like to think of it as progress.
Me too.
Yep. That's
It's a
progress.
sign of progress.
It's exciting. Can't wait to see what's going to happen.
But there's a lot of progress going on in the city.
There's a lot of progress.
But that's a good thing.
It is our state flower.
It is. It is. Yeah, it is.
Well, Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you for coming on the Home Means podcast.
It was my pleasure. Had a great time.
I really appreciate you, and thank you for all you do in North Las Vegas.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening and being a part of the Home Means community. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share with a friend, and check out our Nevada-inspired merch at homemeanspodcast.com. We'll be back soon with another story about the people who make Nevada feel like home. In the meantime, thank you for being part of the Home Means community.